Yep.
I should be live. You got us?
Okay, Jimmy, just words.
Yeah, welcome back to season 21, 22.
Yep. Welcome to the Camera Cat.
Yep, thank you. Peter.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Hello and welcome, and we're back. We're back in a big way on Sydney Harbour for the start of a new season for the 18-foot skiffs. I'm Peter Shipway, and with Jimmy Bury and today Pat Langley, we're bringing you the first race of the season. 2 races today on a sun-drenched Sydney Harbour. The sky is cleared and we've got a nice southeasterly breeze, a dying southeasterly breeze, I think of about 12 knots at the moment. It was 20 knots a few hours ago, but it's slowly dying. The sun's out, and 2 races to open the championship series of the Spring Championship this year. And we've had a long wait, but there's a lot of new boats, a lot of new crews, and a lot of new sponsors. So everyone's very excited to firstly get out on the water, but to bring these races to you. So I say good afternoon firstly to Jimmy Bury. Jimmy, what are you expecting and how's the off-season been?
Pete, great to be back, mate. Great to see you again. Mate, the off-season was busy for all of us here on the Sail Media team. We had a fair bit of homework to get through and ticked a few boxes, and yeah, just happy to be back out here on, as you said, the sun-drenched Sydney Harbour. The Bureau got the weather right not once this week, so we're going good.
Well, today's racing, as I said, it's the first of the Spring Championships. It's a 3 boys race, so the courses will be starting here in Taylor Bay where we are at the moment, start in about 10 minutes, and the fleet will go up into Rose Bay, and there's 3 buoys laid at different positions up in the bay, and the furthest buoy, the scratch boats, will go to that. There's only 2 boats on scratch. That's the JJ Gilton and Champion Smeg and Tech 2. They will go to the furthest mark, and then the rest of the fleet will go to a different machinations as they work their way up. It's 2 laps, and we've got 16 boats that are going to face the starter. There's a few of the newer boats that are not out here today for various reasons, but nonetheless we've got a few new boats and a few new crews, as I said, and a few new sponsors. So it's a good day for a hit out. I think most of the boats saw the breeze early and probably on second rigs, the smaller of their 2 rigs. But at the moment, looking upwind, Jimmy, I think it's definitely probably a number 1 rig. But if everyone's on number 2 rigs, well, it's pretty balanced out.
Absolutely. They've got, yeah, if you were a brave man to put a big rig in an hour or 2 ago when they're rigging the boat, everyone probably would have laughed at you, but now you'd be the hero. But I think everyone being on the same level playing field, first day back out racing, I think it's a smart decision, everyone on a second rig regardless, just to ease back into it.
Yes, there was a good feeling in the park today that with the COVID restrictions lifted, and no need to go into that, how that's tied everyone down, but there's somewhat sense of relief that we could get out and be a bit of freedom, and what a better place to be than on Sydney Harbour for that freedom today. And it's a long season for the 18s that'll culminate in the JJ Giltons much later in the year, and we hope that the New Zealand friends can get over. This time they were unable to get over for the championship for the last season, but I'm sure they'll be here in their numbers for this year's championship, and we'd certainly welcome them back because they certainly put up a great performance over recent years. But I'd like to introduce Pat Langley now. Pat is the Managing Director of Vycobi. They're a water sport clothing and technical sailing gear manufacturer. So, Pat, welcome to you.
Oh, thanks, Peter. Great to be here.
It's great to have you. And what are you looking forward to today?
Oh, just loving being back here on the harbour again. Hey, like, you know, I was in the boat park earlier and you could see everybody very excited to be back on the water. 18 season, started again. I think that's what everyone's excited about. And thanks for inviting me here today, boys.
Yeah, we're on a great platform here. Jimmy put this boat into commission just before the JJ Giltons last year, and it's a wonderful credit to Jimmy and the team at Chits and the boys that they can do everything from this boat, and we can do it dry. A few years ago we had to bring out the Vycobi wet weather gear because even on a good day we needed it.
Oh, I felt sorry for you guys back then. Gee, you know, it was a wet, cold boat, and you know, being on here today, you know, there's more flashing buttons and lights, and you know, it really is. It's a testament to you guys. You know, what a fantastic bit of machinery you guys have developed. So so great to be on board.
Glad to have you on board, Pat.
So I remember in the old Camera Cat down at Obelisk in the southerly down there, we nearly sank a few times. The boat was more underwater than above the water, but anyway, we survived and we lived to tell another day.
It's a bit like the real life story, wasn't it? Like the real experience of sailing is the old Camera Cat.
Yeah. Well, I think you guys were calling for wetsuits at the end of that boat's life, I thought.
Didn't you get my measurements? I'll send you the email.
Yeah, still in development.
Yeah.
Well, as I say, we're about probably 8 or so minutes away from the start. The breeze at the moment, just down at the Western Channel Pile, which is about a kilometre down to our port side. It's 13 knots, gusting to 17, but it's been dying as the day has gone on. So as I said earlier, we'll probably end up with about 10 or 12 knots by the time the second race gets underway. But fleet are just starting to come out of Double Bay now, and we'll try and focus on a few of the new boats. We've got one of the new boats is Yandu, veteran campaigner Woody Winning. He's got a brand new boat this year, the same crew with Fang Warren and Mike Kennedy, and they've had a few practice sails over the last weekend, and they're quite happy with the boat. Marcus Ashley Jones in Lazarus Capital Partners, a new boat for him with his crew of Geronimo Harrison, and standing in today is one of the real veterans in Dan Phillips, Australian Olympic representative, and he's been there or thereabouts in the top boats over the years, so it's nice to see Dan back today. There's the famous Royale, the 18-foot ferry that takes all the punters out, and they maybe have a little wager or three on the result today. So a two-legged course, 2 legs, 2 windward, 2 leeward, finished downwind. And just watching some of the boats that have gone upwind and now running back with spinnakers, and you can see the white caps are getting less and less, and the breeze is definitely dying. So that makes it interesting. Pat, who's any first thoughts on who your money might be on today?
Well, look, it's going to be first race of the season's always going to be tough to see, but you'd think the experienced teams are going to shine today. You know, Coco and the boys with their brand new boat, they looked fairly polished, although they've only been on the water once so far, and actually they did say they put it in, which hopefully they don't do that today. But no, I'd expect, you know, the experienced guys, Tech 2, Smeg, I think they'll be good. Look, I'm really interested to see how the RAG goes with Harry Price and their team, Josh McKnight as well on board. So they'll be one to watch. And, of course, the Shore Partners by Kobe Skiff with Steve Thomas. You know, great bunch of guys. They know their yachting. So it'll be really interesting to see how they develop over the season. It might take them some weeks to get some synergy going, but they'll be a good team by the time we get to the end of the season, I'd say.
Well, there's the starting signals for the first time this season. 5 minutes to go in race 1 of season 21-22. And you mentioned Smeg, they're the defending Giltinan champions, and a crew change for this year on board that boat. Michael Coxon and Ricky Bridge were there last year, and there's a new Barnabas. Zach Barnabas takes over from his father. So how's that going to work out, Jimmy?
Absolutely nothing lost there, mate. With Zach, he's an absolute powerhouse. Now he's getting courted by certain rugby franchises at the moment. He's quite good in his rugby as well. He was the captain of the Australian schoolboys in rugby as well, so it's a pretty handy guy, and he doesn't lack much size difference to his father, Trent. So he's got plenty of ball in him, and he's got the youth with him, where I think Trent last year was just running out of steam after doing the 16s on a Saturday and the 18s on a Sunday. And, you know, Zach is sort of, I want to go sail 18s, so why not? Let's have the third generation jump in.
And he'll have his grandfather for a bit of friendly advice, I'm sure.
I'm sure Trevor won't be too far away. Like he's, you know, be a very proud moment today to see the young bull jump in.
Yeah, terrific. Zach could play for the Wallabies if he came down and played for East Suburbs, I'm sure of that.
No, Rats have got first dibs on it.
We've got him locked up at Manly.
He's got to join the Rats eventually.
I know.
No, well, our Oval will be his home. Okay, well, anyway, we'll get off the football field back onto the Sydney Harbour. And there's John Winning's new boat, Yandu, running back to the start.
Looking good, doesn't it? Like that blue. I said it before.
Yeah, no, it does look good. They were second on the racetrack out here, so, you know, they've done a couple of runs, so I think they've worked out the racetrack.
So which way, Jimmy, do we go? Left or right? You'd think the day would be, the breeze would be going slightly left, wouldn't you? But it looks a pretty good beat at the moment, looking right upwind to Rose Bay.
I think, yeah, bit more to the left. The biggest problem is we haven't got Bucko here to argue with Shippo, so we can't get his definitive answer of go left, so we all go right.
Yes.
But hi, Bucko. We know you're at home watching. We'll see you next week, hopefully. Back on deck.
We wish you well. So just coming up to 2.5 minutes.
Royal Oak 4 Pines there on screen with Aaron Everett, Rob Bell and Charlie Gundy. And there's one of our new sponsors, Balmain Slate Racing, Shippo.
Yeah, they're a new team for Henry Larkins, Max Paul and Flynn Toomey.
So, yeah, welcome to those guys and welcome to the sponsors.
Yeah,
it's great to have new sponsors on board.
Yep. Good looking boat.
Cracker, isn't it, Pat?
Yeah. You know, from a sponsor's perspective as well, you know, the branding is such a big thing. I know Earl Evans, Shaw and Partners Financial Services, who's a good mate of mine, he just absolutely loves it. He loves the visibility of the 18-foot skiffs.
Yeah.
And it's such an important thing. So, yeah.
Way up in the distance, just that red spinnaker right there is Shaw and Partners, just crossing what I believe is the Vintec.
Well, he's going to miss the start. That's my tip. I would think he's a long way upwind off Steel Point, and we've only got 1:30 to go. He's going to have to break every record to get down here. I think you need to put some foils on him, I think, Pat, to get here.
Yeah, I think there's a few of them that are going to struggle.
Tech 2.
Tech 2 for the Le Mans.
He's just coming round to see Tech 2 now. He's running down in very light air. He's probably got 1 minute to go to the starting line, and we've got 1:12 to go. There's a minute now.
So our clock on screen, which we're playing around with for viewers at home, is about 9 seconds out on the count. So
Tech 2 will miss it. Shaw and Partners will miss it, and another boat,
Noakes Youth.
Noakes Youth, will miss it. There's another one right upwind as well. So anyway, let's concentrate on what we've got here. Stacking up now at the committee boat end. Down at the leeward end is the Royal Oak 4 Pines.
And the Rag.
And the Rag and Famish is down there. Pretty gentle sort of start. Everyone's hanging back a bit. There's Smeg trying to punch out. Oh, Tech 2 might just make this start. He will. He's going to cross him.
Going for the good old dip start here, Pete.
Okay, we've got about...
Make friends and influence
10
people on the
seconds to
first
go.
race.
Very little wind here at the starting line, Jimmy. Look at this. Look at Yandu. He's
It's lifted off.
There he goes. A clear start, that's for sure. Rag and Famish nailed it down at the leeward end. He's across the fleet. I think he's on port tack and will all but cross the fleet. Very good start from Rag and Famish. Smeg started well in the middle of the line. Fisher and Paykel up to windward. Tech 2 missed it, just going round the committee boat now. But the majority of the fleet going out on starboard tack.
Yeah, gee, the Rag really got a cracking start there, hey, Peter. They won that pit end and got onto port tack pretty quick, and I'd expect they'll probably do a cover pretty shortly.
You'd think they'd consolidate that good position they've got now, but that was an easy cross down there. The left paying big time. And the breeze is nice, 12 knots. I don't see any boats, Jimmy, on big rigs, do you?
No, none on the big rigs.
No. So it's all equaled itself out. Smeg going nicely from a middle of the line start, as you'd expect, the champions of last year. Well, it's a big split. He did well going left early, but the Rags now going hard right.
Yeah, it looks like some pressure over here. It'll be interesting to see how they're just tacking now, and they'll come back on this puff. So big separation, as you say.
Harry Price, Josh McKnight and Harry Hall. Harry Price from a very famous sailing family. Sister Olivia, silver medalist at the London Olympics. So they're now in very good shape as they go back in towards Steel Point. They're about mid-harbour at the moment. So just while we're on the rag, let's see what they've got to do coming up to these three buoys. Don't forget there's three different buoys up here at the Windward Mark.
Larry Cargill, their coach, would have been in their ear, wouldn't he, Pete? And said that they're hackers and put them on the closest marks for sure.
Yes. So they go to red, blue, blue. So the red's the closest mark, the blue's the middle mark, and white is the furthest mark. So the rag and famish, the first time round.
Look at the angle Smeg's on in the background of that shot there. Something's got to give out of these two, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Smeg's looking.
Smeg's on a really good left-hander.
And the rag's about to tack.
He saw them and he wouldn't cross, so he's gone back.
Yeah, so they've got Josh McKnight on board with Harry Price, and being a moth sailor, they love tinkering with boats. So I did joke with Josh that he'll have plenty of boat work opportunities this year with the AD.
So we're probably halfway up the beat to Rose Bay. The fleet majority now on port tack. Very patchy this breeze, Jimmy. There's little puffs coming through. There's a lot of gaps in this breeze. They see Smeg, there's most of the crew, or two of the crew sitting in, one on the wire only. But the rag and famish will cross now. They went out. They wouldn't cross early. They went back and got a little bit more right, and they've got a nice shift on the right-hand side. They will lead from Smeg. Lazarus Capital Partners is in the mix as well.
Right about that branding, Pat, that stands out.
That
like
does
the
stand
Verdals,
out
doesn't it?
on the Balmain.
Ah, looks great.
Well, Rag's done a very good job tactically up here. They got a great start. They didn't look so good about 5 minutes ago. They couldn't have crossed Smeg, but they bailed out to the right again and have made big inroads. And they will lead clearly as they approach Shark Island. And then a good battle for second between Royal Oaks, Smeg, Fisher Paykel, Lazarus, Kitchen Maker. And we haven't seen Tech 2 because he missed the start badly. And he would be well back, I would think. He's gone hard right. He's rolled the dice, which he had to do. He'll probably go the other side of the island.
Lazarus there on the screen.
Yeah. Marcus Ashley Jones with his new boat.
Impressive paint scheme on that one.
Looks very smart. He's been one of the more consistent skippers over recent years, Marcus. He's had some good moments. He's won a few heats of the JJs. Consistency's probably been his little bit of a problem. You can put one or two races together, but he's had difficulty putting a good series together. So this may be his year. As the rag leads, and there we are on Fisher Paykel, standing on port tack in towards Shark Island.
There's quite a few of them have gone the other side of Shark Island here, Shippo.
Yeah.
Off screen.
Yeah.
There's the Fisherman Paykel.
Yeah, that's the
Jordo.
it's the last year's winning group. Jordan Gertis, Nathan Edwards and Kurt Fatoris. Last year they were crew on the Kitchen Maker, but now they've jumped onto this very good boat that was second last year in the JJs, skippered by John Winning Jr. So Jordan Gertis, one of the young up-and-comers, on a lovely left-hand shift at the moment.
Crasher, isn't it?
Absolute ripper.
Yeah, I think the left hand's looking pretty strong up here, isn't it?
What did I say? Bucko's not here to correct me. This is good.
We
I
all
like
went
this.
left. The boats that went right have got punished at the moment. Absolutely hammered. But it does funny things up here with the split in the island.
These two will be going crack sheets in a minute. They get any more left, right?
Well, particularly if the rag are going for the red buoy, for this, that's their first turning mark, as I believe it would be, Peter.
Well, that's the way I read it, but I don't take anything for granted in my paperwork, but we'll see.
That could have been left on the counter from last year, that,
That's right.
for all we know.
And the Fisher's going to the red buoy as well, so they're both going to the red buoy.
Well, based on this form, they'll be on the blue or white one soon.
I think they'll be on the white very quickly.
Yep.
But further left, off screen at the moment, there's boats that have gone out to the left. This Balmain's come right into it as well. She could easily be second now. Kitchen Maker. She's steaming up on port tack also.
Yeah, no, cracking left-hand shift up here. Everyone on this side looks pretty solid.
There's the Kitchen Maker, Caesar Stone, Lachlan Steele, Jerome Watson, Matt Doyle. And there's Lazarus also, and Royal Oak Four Pines. They've gone hard left. This breeze has gone. They're all, at the moment, they're almost on ley line, just short.
You know, the rag's actually now, falling out of that left-hand pressure.
Yeah, she's in deep trouble. The rag, it could be that Balmain could lead here. The left-hand shift has been so pronounced. I think the rag will still cross. Yes, there's Balmain just falling off it now. The rag's got good pressure coming across on starboard. Most of these boats are going to the red buoy. And the boats that went to the right of the island, with the exception of Yandu, have done poorly. Yandu's done okay. She missed the start badly, but she's got right back into it. She'll be in the top half dozen as Rag leads. She's around the first mark on the run back to near the starting area. A good job. Harry Price. Balmain second. A new sponsor.
Great way to start the season.
Yep.
Absolutely.
And here comes Yandu. Will he? So you can see Lazarus is going to the Kitchen Maker's third. Yandu. He's got to go to the middle mark. So he's okay. Fisher Pike's around. So it's Rag and Famish, Balmain, Kitchen Maker with a big tangle in his spinnaker. Then
bit of a
Fisher
wobble.
Pike. He's around the Royal Oaks Four Pines. They are around. Yandu has got to go to the middle mark along with Lazarus. So they're handing a big advantage to the boats that have gone round the closest mark. So there's three different marks that the fleet have got to go to. Poor old Smeg and Tech 2 have got to go to the furthest mark. So there's Yandu around the middle mark. John Winning, brand new boat this year. Just followed. See Yandu now powering away. There's Marcus Ashley Jones and the Lazarus just going round. So it really mixes the fleet up by going to these different marks, Jimmy.
Yeah, and this year they've spread them out quite considerable compared to, remember last year, Pete, they're quite close together. This
Yes.
year they've really given them the handicap.
They certainly have. It's almost half the leg of the course that the leaders have gone, and Smeg's not even around the weather mark. So advantage early to the boats that are going to the shortest mark. So a big split. It's VMG run back to Taylor Bay. Great shot of the Royal Oak Four Pine.
Balmain extending down this shore, heading right out in the middle of the harbour.
She's getting nicely lifted, so it'll be a nice one to go back on.
Yep. They're listening to you, Pete. They both jibe at the same time.
The Rag's looking pretty solid down there on starboard.
She's got a great gust. She's got bow down, and she looks in good shape indeed. The boys on Balmain have done a great job.
Let's line these two up.
Fisher Paykel, she's gone. Fisher Paykel, she's gone left, going down, looking downwind. Just get through the jibe. There's Kitchen Maker. Balmain in the distance with the orange spinnaker. Well, for a new sponsor, that's a terrific effort, a terrific start. They will lead, I think. Balmain's done a great job downwind. They will cross Rag. Rag on starboard. It's going to be close. Don't think going to jibe. Balmain have jibe. Rag jibe. Okay, that was a split, interesting split. Balmain couldn't have crossed, but they split away, and now there's a gate and there's a leeward gate, so they've got an option of 2 marks to go around in Taylor Bay. So it's tight. Balmain, the Kitchen Maker, Rag and Famish, Fisher Paykel, and the Royal Oaks 4-pine are all in the mix. Not the greatest jibe in the world on Balmain. That will open the door a little for Rag and Famish. And
I think they just jibed in no pressure there,
yeah,
Pete.
they did. And they could allow Kitchen Maker go across their bow. Kitchen Maker on starboard will cross. Balmain just flagging the chute to let Kitchen Maker go across. None of them are on the lay line yet to these 2 leeward marks. It's a gate here. So Rag and Famish, they held their cool down there, did a very good job, and they will lead clearly here.
Yeah, they worked that left side nicely, didn't they?
The power boat over near the start boat shipper, that's Pete Caligris there,
Yes, yeah,
the Rag and Famish himself.
yeah. Been a long time sponsor.
Brilliant sponsor for
Yeah.
the class, hasn't he?
Pete, his late father George. Been at it a long while, but here's a great battle for the second place. Rag and Famish is around. She's clear. She will lead by about 20 seconds. Then a gaggle of 4. Which mark are they going to? Royal Oak going to the left-hand mark, looking downwind. Kitchen Maker, Balmain, and Fisher Paykel all coming to the right-hand mark. Looking downwind. Kitchen Maker gets in. Lachlan Steele at the helm. Balmain. And then Fisher Paykel jumped in between them, did a nice round in Jordan Gertis. So, and then the Royal Oak went to the other mark. So a great battle here still for all the all placings. It'll just be depending on where they go on the next beat, because they're all going to different marks. Next around is will be Noakes. Noakes Blue.
Shore and Partners, Vicovia, eh?
Well, I have to admit, I'm not quite sure the boys went to the right top mark.
Oh, really? Okay.
You can't be dobbing them in from here,
Yeah,
Pat. That's the
well,
problem.
Hey,
They could have a different version of
they
what
could.
mark.
They certainly could. Maybe Pete might be able to correct me,
Nah.
but
Noakes Blue, Yvette Heritage, Tom Clout and James Turner. She's the
Woody in the background.
Yandu going round. Noakes Blue, of course, Yvette, one of the lady helmsmen in this fleet. She's done a terrific job last year and right up there again this year. They're Shore and Partners. They're on their way. So they were meant to go round the blue mark, which was the middle mark.
right.
So, Pat, what do you think?
Yeah, they went for the blue mark.
Right,
Yep,
good.
yep, definitely.
So the fleet are heading off on starboard, and the breeze gone big time left again. Look at this, Jimmy.
It's huge, isn't it?
I mean, they won't have to stand. If the breeze stays steady, they'll
One
go
tack
out,
it.
one tack from there, and they'll lay. But interesting, Yandu went up the other side of the island. He did quite well last time.
Yeah, but Woody's renowned for just pinning his ears back in this,
Yeah.
when we're doing this, when we're leeward in here and going hard right pretty much so all the time. And I know he was sort of saying something to do with tide one day to me about it. I don't know, but I've never been a real fan of going that side of
No, it's a gamble, but
big gamble, and he seems to love it. And you know, he's been around longer, said no, what works.
I think 3 out of 10 times it works, I'd say.
Craig Nichols, if it works once out of 100 times, he claims that he's that it worked so well. Why didn't everyone else try it?
Oh, the boat's running out of pressure everywhere here. We're just off camera is a Noakes Blue. They're just in a big hole. There they are. Almost into windward. Just getting going now. Friendly wave. Big splits in this wind. Look at that. Boat's up to windward at 20 degrees higher and the boat's down to leeward on port tack.
There's a new sponsor, the Burrawong Village Hotel.
Yep.
Young Henrys, welcome aboard. Down the Southern Highlands, I believe that pub, I might have maybe once thought about having a beer in there.
Yeah. Relaxed hotel, welcoming and unique country pub for all to enjoy.
We better go there.
Yep. We say hello to Pete Dean, who's down at the Burrawang Hotel. Hope you're well, hope you're watching and enjoying. So anyway, back to the race course. It's the Rag still leads, but it's a battle royal for second. And we'll all be where they...
Yeah, look
There's
at
a vet on screen, Noakes Blue.
Yeah.
Yvette's just so consistent, isn't she? You know, last year she was so impressive in the JJs.
Yeah.
You know,
She did a fantastic job, yep.
yeah.
She's not afraid, like the... one thing with a vet, like I've raced against her for years in the 16s and whatever, and like she grew up from down Georges River, and you know she was always one of the first to put her hand up for the smoking nor'easter run out tide there, and it stands up like a surf, and you know she'd be loving the 18s and the fun and camaraderie this one brings.
Well, she's so tough though. If my memory serves me correctly, before the last JJs, she had quite a big injury.
Yeah.
She battled through that and got through the series and got a fantastic result. So, well, the Shaw and Partner boys are looking pretty good here. I think
Right.
they've got new mains this season. So, with the sale allocations that they all get each season, they chose to get brand new mains. So they've just picked them up from North just this week. And I think they're going to be a pretty good team this year. They're going to take a while to click, but you know, Steve Thomas is no stranger to high performance racing.
And the breeze is very puffy now. You can see boys just coming into a very good puff here. But in other areas, there's a lot of holes in the course.
How can they? If you have a look in the background of this shot, just to the right, I don't know if we'll see it, there they are. He's way off in the distance. The Rag and Famish has gone the other side
Oh,
of the
he dropped the main
island.
chute there.
Dropped the main
Not a
chute when
great
all the pressure's
tack.
on.
Sponsor must have been watching there. Come on, boys. Got to do better than that.
I'll get Earl on the phone.
Yeah. So it's very fluky up here in Rose Bay. There's a lot of holes. I keep saying in the breeze, but you can see one crew in on the Shaw and Partners. Skipper, knees bent, further upwind.
That's
Kitchen.
partly the reason why I had to retire from sailing, mate. It was all the bending the knees
Yeah.
and just waiting for the pop to happen.
So they're going in towards Steel Point. But at the moment it looks like the Rag and Famish, the Kitchen Maker, Fisher Paykel will be the top three. I don't think there's anyone else that's going to... And Balmain, of course, she will probably lead.
Yeah, like
Right.
no one's going to get near the Rag from here
No,
to
the
the
Rag-
finish, mate. It's safe money there.
Balmain will lead this group of gaggle for the minor placings.
Woody's still going hard right,
Yes, he is. He's going the other side. He's going into Point Piper.
sticking to his convictions.
Yeah.
Just checking to see if Kerry's got guests over or not. Is that what he's doing?
So the Rag, the race leader way in the distance. He's going to the middle mark by my calculations. So he's got enough up his sleeve, he could probably go to the furthest mark. But we're just on the group now, battling it out for second and third. Kitchen Maker going out on starboard. Fisher Paykel going in on Shark Island on port. He would be close to third. Jordan Gertis getting a nice left-hander scooting along the side of the island.
Do you think he's going to lay, Peter?
No, I think he'll have to put the wheels down if he wants to lay. Oh, shouldn't have spoken too soon.
Oh, this yacht just to windward of him might
Give him a bit of grief, yes. So, I think he'll fall off this in a minute. But Balmain will be second. I think the Fisher will be third. Look at that lift, he's just a screamer. So, just looking right upwind, the leader is about to go round. Okay, so Rag leads, a really handsome lead here. Balmain second. Just getting a bit of grief from that yacht, as you said, Pat, the Fisher Paykel boys.
Yeah.
And Royal Oak and Kitchen Maker fighting for third. Now Balmain will go to the red mark, so he's going to a shorter mark. So that will lessen the distance between he and the leader.
Yeah, the Rag's got a nice left-hander there.
Yeah, well, the Kitchen Maker will get a beauty too.
Sorry, the Oak I meant to say. Sorry about that.
That'll make life difficult for Fisher Paykel. So Balmain round in second. White Spinnaker on the left of screen is the race leader as he races down towards the finish. And where do these boats go? The Kitchen Maker.
No, Balmain's still in this.
Yep.
No, it's going to be interesting. It would be a good story to get the Rag to get the first victory of the year, wouldn't it?
Yeah, terrific. But at the moment, things are looking pretty good. As he jibes away, there's on Balmain.
Balmain's coming down
With a
like the heat.
really good puff.
He's nice and deep.
They got that thing really going off the breeze, don't they? Like last time down,
Yep, they made big inroads.
Well, Henry Larkin's a skipper. You know, he got third in the Youth Worlds in the 29ers. So he's a real top-class skipper. And, you know, we've got Max Paul and Flynn Twomey on board. They're going to be a one to watch this year, I think.
So tactically, he's very good, the Rag and Famish, Harry Price, as you'd expect. He's just...
And Matt Tracer always covers.
Yeah. Covering from the front's not easy, but they're both running away now on starboard. The lead probably about 80 metres to Rag and Famish. Both in reasonable pressure. We're on Balmain. Balmain, a commercial property finance, and it provides the largest and most experienced source of commercial mortgage finance outside the major Australian banks. So they'd be pretty happy with this performance today. And the first time sponsoring a 18-footer. And the minor sponsor of the same boat is Slate Masts. They make high-performance windsurfing masts, designed and built in Australia. Okay, they're both jibed. Balmain in a screamer. This race is a long way from finished here. They're just probably on parallel courses now. The Rag will have starboard rights when he comes back. But a nice header on Balmain.
Yeah, I make Balmain ahead of the
Yeah,
moment.
I think he is at the moment. I agree with that. Starboard tack rights will give the advantage to Rag when he comes back. That's the only thing in Rag's favour. But Balmain's got the bow down and more pressure, and there's more coming behind him too. If he wanted to jibe, he'd be jibing into a beauty. Yeah, the Rag's run out. He's got bow right up. Not far off a jibe, I wouldn't think, on the Rag. There he goes now. He won't cross. Balmain will lead. Just very tight.
Go to Balmain.
All on the jibe. All on the jibe here on Balmain, right?
Yeah, the pressure's on.
He's going to have to jibe. Starboard tack will have the advantage here on the Rag. Yeah, Rag still leads. Probably by, oh, it's not the greatest jibe by the Balmain boys. That's a little bit rusty. Advantage Rag there. They'll be through. There's good pressure coming down here.
Just keep those two in the front.
Good race, though. Terrific for a first up race.
I don't think the Rag's going to get deep enough, so we've still got
No,
another jibe.
He'll take them out to the lane line here, I
No,
think.
Mark's all the way out here, Pat out to the right.
Oh, right. Oh, there we go.
Oh, yes, this is the...
Going to the finish. Good observation there, Jimmy. Okay, well, we're still on.
Still on by all means here. This finishing line is very long, and there's nothing in this. Nothing in this long line. But Rag probably marginally in front. No, maybe not. Very close, absolutely.
Oh, there's... I don't think Balmain's going to get this.
Balmain's going to get there. She's going to roll over the top of him. Balmain will win it, I think. Right on the finishing line.
Oh,
Yeah, bow down. He's done it.
Balmain for the ball
Balmain
money.
first.
Well done.
Well
what
done.
a race.
Welcome to the 18s.
Yep.
Give me a punch on Balmain.
Balmain Slate.
I want you to come around.
What a great race. First up, Pat.
Wasn't that a great finish?
I've
The
got a ways to go.
first race of the season, those teams were really sailing the boat well.
I thought he'd lost it there with just that poor jibe at the last jibe, but the finishing line was angled in such a way that it favoured Balmain.
Yes.
Not a lot of bias in the line though. So
No.
Get the bow down on the shot there.
And then a long gap to third. We've lost sight of the fleet.
got a battle just here in front of the
Fisher
camera cat.
Fisher and Peichel, and
Fisher and Peichel.
is that the kitchen maker?
Kitchen
Yeah.
maker, yeah.
This could be tight.
This will be another close battle too. Just lining up that finishing line and get it right.
It's a great puff they're on.
Fisher Peichel in a beauty.
I think he's lifting a little too high, Fisher and Peichel, where I think
I think he's in the lee of the spectator ferry there.
yeah.
Won't get
A little
down
bit too
now.
much.
So Lachlan Steele and the crew looking pretty strong here for third.
Yeah, the kitchen maker will get, he will cross easily.
Oh, Fisher and Peichel, they're on.
Oh, it's gone light here. No, Fisher and Peichel might do this. Good job. Will do it for Jordan Gertis. No, kitchen maker will do it by a boat length. Good race again for third.
That's why I always never sold my boats, Pat. Like I keep them because I don't want to be beaten by them.
It's the worst.
We've all been there.
And now another long gap to the fifth place. Which will be the Royal Oak Four Pines, I would think. Followed by Yandu.
Oh, Woody must have eventually got a shift out of the right.
Yes, yeah. Although things change dramatically depending on which mark they go to, going upwind. Of course, poor old Smeg and Tech 2 have got to go to the furthest mark. There'll be another week finishing.
Tech 2's, I can see that. I think that's Tech 2, or is that Smeg's Spinnaker red one? Oh no, Smeg's white this year on their Spinnaker, aren't they? So, Noakes blue here.
When was the last time Smeg had a white sheet?
I think last year, come to think of it.
Oh, did they?
Yeah,
Oh, they had a red one.
probably.
Oh, well, there you go.
The problem with like those long termers is, yeah, the long term sponsors, as you know, Pat. Like we did it with my team. Like we were changing from red to white all the time, and it was confusing enough as it is for us to remember what we were on.
So what have we got? Shaw and Partners and Vintech down the bottom there. Just ahead of them looks like Woody just about to cross the line.
As Yandu will be 6th, is the battle for 7th and 8th. So Shaw and Partners will be 7th.
Ooh, good letdown here on Noakes Blue.
Noakes Blue might get there. Yes, she will. Noakes Blue. Noakes Blue with the blue spinnaker, Shaw and Partners, and then Vintech.
Stay on those three.
And then to round out the top 10 will be Lazarus. I think he got lost somewhere along the line for our Marcus.
I think the handicaps don't do them
No.
a lot of justice, Pete. It's not good for crew morale.
No, wow. Anyway, couldn't have seen a better race first up. Balmain, Henry Larkins, Max Paul and Flynn Toomey were the winners, narrowly. Over
Amazing
Rag and
finish.
Famish, which was Harry Price, Josh McKnight and Harry Hall. A great race from both those teams. Kitchen Maker 3rd, Fisher Paykel 4th, the Oak Double Bay 5th, Yandu 6th, Noakes Blue 7th, Shaw and Partners 8th, Vintech 9, and we're just on the Lazarus. Capital Partners coming in 10th spot. It's crossing now.
Next across is the Burrawong Young Henry.
Yep. Burrawong Young Henry, Simon Nern, Rory Cox and Brandon Oinick. They're across. Burrawong in 11th spot. Now what's happening to this breeze, Jimmy? It's puffy, isn't it? It's come back in a little bit. It's probably maximum 12 knots, more like a steady 10. With
Yeah.
holes of about 5.
But like how shifty it was going up that last work. Like, you know, the boats
Yeah.
were from one end of it to the other. Like
Yeah.
it was.
It really is a rich get richer sort of day, you know. Once you get
Yeah.
away in a wind system, you're off.
So we're just waiting for a few of the stragglers to
You come and get 10-2 coming down on the left-hand side.
finish.
Well, hopefully the next race we can have everyone on the start line.
Yes. Everyone was very rusty with that start. It was a lot missed it. Smeg just finishing. They, of course, had to sail a much longer course. Well, just while we're waiting now for the second race, we're same format, 2-lapper. They'll go to different buoys up at the weather marks. Pat, let's talk to you about Vycobi and your water sport clothing and tech sailing gear. I know a lot of the crews in the 18s are using your gear. How and when did the company start?
Yeah, we started Vycobi back in 2013, and at that time it was about a desire to create a brand that was, you know, providing technical water sport gear for a range of water sports, but in particular, we saw the paddle sport market as a space where no one was doing anything. And if you notice around the harbour, you'll see a lot of surf skis and obviously offshore as well. And surf ski paddling has just grown from strength to strength. So we chose that market as our entry point to build the brand, and that's worked very well for us. It's given us a great platform to build the brand and progress into other forms of paddling. But, you know, my passion being sailing my whole life, you know, we were never going to be far away. We launched the sailing line about 3 years ago, ironically, not ironically, but just naturally as we started supporting the 18-foot skiffs as well. And so we've loved the journey, and we've now got a fantastic range of sailing-specific gear, and we're going to keep building that range. You know, we've got more product launches over the next month. We've got boots coming in November actually, which will be probably the last missing piece of the puzzle, so we can kit everybody from head to toe. But yeah, it's an exciting time for us. We're really happy to be involved with the 18-foot skiff fleet. We've got to know everybody, and we've got a lot of good friends that are already sailing that make it just a really fun experience for us.
And where does your design come from? Is it mostly from word of mouth from sailors? You talk to them what they want?
Yeah, absolutely, Peter. Yeah, we really work with athletes, whether it's paddlers, sailors, and we spend a lot of time getting gear out there that are in prototype sort of stages and testing. I think durability is such a big thing, particularly with sailing gear, how much, how hard you push the gear. So we do a lot of testing for obviously performance and durability, and always just asking the question as to, why do you want your gear to perform in this particular way, and that obviously gives us our ideas as to how we can develop it.
And what about upraise sailing gear? Do you do anything in that range at all?
Look, we do, yeah. We're expanding it. Look, we're very much on the on-water side, I'd say. That's as we've, we're still a young brand, so we're building our range, but we've definitely got a lot of great, tech shirts and lightweight jackets and down jackets. We've got a fantastic range of sunglasses launching in November, which we're really excited about, and that's all about being on and around the water. So yeah, we're certainly, our brand has evolved into being, a much broader water sport brand. Paddling, sailing, foiling, foil boarding and wing fall. The wing ding is just such a big thing now. I love it. And actually Dylan, who's doing all our drones for us today, we do a lot of wing dinging together. And, that's the great thing about our sport. There's so many different facets of it.
And what about your market? Are you trying to get worldwide, or is that a step too far for you at this stage? Or?
No, well, actually, yeah, probably more than 50% of our turnover is export. We've got a great base of business here in Australia naturally, because that's our home market. But certainly from a paddling perspective, we're distributed in 25 countries around the world with specialist dealers. So yeah, we've got really good strategy. I think our brand's pretty solid, and we're having a lot of fun with it.
You obviously enjoy the 18-footers because they give you a lot of feedback, I'm sure, of these boys.
Oh, they sure do. Yeah. And they run through the gear like, they give it a really good workout. So we invariably identify any issues, if there are any, pretty quickly. No, look, the class is great. I think for us, we made the decision to get involved with the 18-footers. Gives us great visibility, but we get to work with some of the best sailors.
Well, they obviously, they give you great third-party endorsement, which I'm sure for any product is very worthwhile.
Absolutely, and you look, a lot of these guys are all, doing a lot of other sailing. They'll go off and do Sail GP. And we're involved with the US Sail GP team as a supplier. We get a lot of great connections that develop from the 18-foot skiff sailors.
Well, that's great. It's a great success story for you, and we wish you continued success. There's no doubt about that, and continued involvement with the 18-footers, which is such an iconic part of Sydney and sailing in Australia. But we're just waiting now for the second race to commence. We saw a very, very thrilling first race of the Spring Championship. It's interesting, Jimmy, that they called it a three boys race, but you only go round twice.
Yeah, it's three different boys. But I know there's a bit of a movement to try one of the traditional old handicap races that we all grew up and loved when we were sailing. That's where the dads used to stand down the back of the boat, hold the numbers up and drop them down, and go around exactly the same track as everyone. But
everyone's got a handicap of three different boys, but they only go up there twice. Anyway, we'll get our heads around that, I'm sure. So there's the final boat, a Birkenhead Point Merino, just going across the line. So I would think we'll be soon underway. I don't think they've adjusted the starting line. The breeze is pretty steady in direction. It's up and down in pressure, but it's a fading sou'easter, which will die as the afternoon goes on. And be Be a brave man to go right-hand side of the island this time, Jimmy, but who knows?
Well, looking at Lazarus, we can see out of the camera boat coming down. Definitely, you'd be very brave.
Yeah, yes. Anyway, we'll see what Woody does. He likes it up there.
I'd expect some strong competition for that pin end, I would have thought.
Yeah, well, that worked so well for the boys. Started the last one, right?
Well,
Yeah, the rag just...
The rag and...
Go on.
Well, they were on time for a starter.
That helps. So, Shippo, you've been doing some Cameo webinars or web interviews with some sailors in your downtime, I noticed.
Yeah, it's been a bit of fun. Down at the CYC, we've had really some good interviews with some great sailing people. Will Oxley, the famous Sydney Hobart winning navigator and Fastnet winning navigator, he was a real font of knowledge and explaining what to do in dramas and how not to get yourself in a drama situation. He was great. We spoke to the boys from North Sails, we spoke to the boys from Doyle Sails, and they've all added to everyone, whether you're experienced or a layman, they really put their cases forward of how to make boats go quicker and make it very interesting at the same time.
And the one with Will Ryan, that was pretty magical to get hold of him that quickly after the Olympics.
Yeah, the Olympic gold medalist. He was absolutely terrific. 4 years ago, they were silver medalists in Rio, and this time with Matt Belcher, the 470s, they were the gold medalists. And what a fantastic talent! Just an understated young boy, and a credit to the sport. And he was really fascinating in his journey to win the gold medal. And he's got a lot of good sailing ahead of him, and I think he'll be picked up by a lot of good sailing teams, whether it's yachts or skiffs. I think he's really got a terrific future ahead of him.
And he's so approachable too. I've heard through the grapevine with kids, he's not afraid to show the gold medal, let them interact with it. As I'm sure, like everyone, would be proud to show it off, but he's...
Yeah, very understated, and you'd think that I know he's been picked up on a number of campaigns already in the future, so it's not hard to see why that such a delightful young fellow, and I'm sure he's got a great future in the sport, and he teamed so well with Matt Belcher, and they were absolutely dominant in their class at the Olympics.
Yeah, fantastic to see. They're just a fantastic family, aren't they?
Yeah.
The Ryans.
Yeah. Sister as well, an Olympian.
Very good sailing genes.
Yep. Yeah. Well, we're on standby. I think there's a ferry coming from Manly, but he'll be well clear even if they got them away now. So the fleet are all here. That's the good news. Bad news is there's not much wind. Here we go.
So 5 minutes.
Just as we speak, 5 minutes. And remembering 2 laps up into Rose Bay, different marks for different boats. A lot of new boats, new crews and new sponsors, as we've said before, and it's great to see them out. Still a few boats to come out that we'll see over the coming weeks. Sean Langman in Noakes Sailing, he has a new boat. He's a few weeks away, I believe. Rob Greenhale, a former champion, he's got a Finport Finance, he'll be sailing. And, they're 2 boats that we look forward to seeing how they go. I'm sure they'll both be very competitive. So we're under starters' hands now, about just over 4 minutes to go. Manly Ferry will be clear of the starting line.
Just your occasion cruisers slowly getting through there.
Yes. Beautiful looking boat.
So our start clock for the viewers, we're about 5 seconds out. But, we're just refining that start clock, so
Don't panic.
hold us to it. We've got to blow some rust off on here as well.
So where do we start? It looks as though the line, I think they've moved the pins slightly forward, which would not be the way to go. But anyway, no, maybe it's in the same position.
It looks biased to the pin, doesn't it, Peter?
Yeah, it does heavily.
Big time.
Especially the puffs are coming out of the left. So just above 3 minutes to go. Quite a spread in the fleet as it was in the first start. They were quite gentlemanly. But I'm sure as the season comes on, it'll get less gentlemanly. They'll be barging, screaming, yelling, as is traditional with the 18-footers. So we've got Noakes Blue, Event Heritage. She's right down at the pin end. Who have we got up here? We've got Smeg and Tech 2 midline, just running down the line on starboard. Rag and Famish, they are up to windward. It's going to be Kitchen Maker with about 2.5 minutes to go. The Kitchen Maker and the Burrawang Hotel are going to be at the windward end of the line. They want that end. Noakes Blue wants the pin. She's way down there. Vintech in the middle. Smeg and Tech 2 close together. They'll be midline, I think. They'll jump out from the midline. Burrawang Young Henry's right up here at the weather end with Kitchen Maker. The Royal Oak Four Pines is also up here, but she's way back. Okay. There's the overhedge. There's the long shot there. Burrawang Hotel, the blue hull up at the weather end. Smeg's getting down towards the leeward end of the line, the pin end. Noakes Blue is coming back on port. She got too early down there, Yvette. Minute 40 to go. They're getting up close to the line this time. It was a very clean start the first race. Everyone was well back, but I think they're going to... Marcus Ashley Jones and the Lazarus, he's well advanced down there. Still got over a minute to go. A few boats are early, that's for sure. Tech 2 looks a bit early down there. She's had to get out. And Smeg. Okay, 1 minute.
Still getting used to that start horn off the Ripple side, Pete. It's different from last year.
Yes.
And I'm like, every time I hear the horn, I'm looking around going, who's coming at us?
What have I done wrong?
I think everyone wants the left this time. They're all down there. Not many up at this windward end, as you normally see a bit of a gaggle up at the committee boat end, but they're well down from the line from the committee boat.
There's a pack of them already on port tack, just looking for the gap.
Yeah. Yandu trying to get in on port. He's well back. Smeg the most advanced down at the leeward end with Tech 2. Getting close now. Three, two, one.
Oh, was Woody over? Woody was over. The Yandu.
I think he might have been over. No signals from the committee boat.
He's clear.
All clear. All clear, okay.
He got his
He
port
found
tack.
a hole, he threaded the needle, got the port tack. Oh, Smeg's in all sorts of trouble down at the pin. She's all but capsized. I think there's a bit of a tangle up there between Smeg. Oh, Smeg's in all sorts of trouble. More trouble on the early explorers here, these two boats.
Just what you want with a brand new boat, right?
Yes, yeah.
Tech 2 got a good start,
Jumped
didn't they?
out nicely, got onto port, and away she went. So I'd say Woody still might be going for the other side of the island, but there's some big holes in the breeze now. Tech 2 down, pressure.
So, yeah, don't worry about that.
Oh, here's Smeg just got going. She's giving him a big start now. She got tangled up with appliances on line. I think they got locked together. Big job now for Michael Coxon. We'll see how good he really is. He's got to work his way back in.
Oh, they're bearing away. Do they think they're over, or they're doing a penalty turn?
They're doing a penalty turn. That's what's happening to Smeg. Okay. So he's put up his hand. Guilty as guilty, Your Honour. So Yvette Heritage did get the leeward end, and she went hard left. She's tacked. She hasn't got much pressure. And we're on the fleet now. It's a great shot. Boat the furthest in the distance, as we look, is Yandu. He shot across that line like a bullet. And
He was so fast he thought he was over.
that's right, he dipped back.
But he had a look at the starting committee vessel and realised that he was clear.
What
There's
interesting.
no flags, keep going, right?
Yeah.
It's plain and
The
simple.
breeze has gone back to the right here. That's what's happened. The left hasn't been favoured at all. 5 minutes before the start, it was high left. Now it's high right.
Yeah, they're down, 30 plus degrees, 40 plus degrees on what they were last.
Yeah. And it looks very soft where Noakes Blue are. Although she's trying to get into some pressure that might be a lifting gust. It's probably Tech 2 leads, I would think, close to Yandu. Tech 2 came out of the middle of the line and went to the right. But she, remembers, got to go to the furthest windward mark, so any lead she'll have will be quickly wiped out by the boats that go to the shorter mark. There's 3 different buoys they can go to at the weather mark. There's Tech 2. In the middle there is Yandu. Yep. John Winning made his intentions very clear. Just go hard right. Come out of the line on port and keep it going. Put the foot down. And again, it's tricky. Looks more pressure to the right. The boats that went left haven't fared that well. And here's one of them, Noakes Blue, at the moment. There's the 18-footers bar and restaurant just crossing ahead of Orange, who won the first race today.
So I think this time we're all going to be on the right side of the island.
Yeah, it looks as though it's going to pay too. There's good pressure coming between Shark Island and Point Piper, the eastern end of Point Piper. The fleet are on the charge to the right-hand side of the island. We would have got that wrong, Jimmy. We were going left.
Oh, pop into Milk Beach and drop anchor and have a beer, mate, if we would have got it that wrong.
Yeah.
Well, I tell you what, Woody's tacking now on the starboard. So,
Yeah, he's not far off the lead, actually, Yandu.
Yeah.
He's got a nice right-hander to tack into between Tech 2 and Yandu. They will be the 2 leaders. I think Yandu will have starboard tack advantage and he will cross Tech 2. Quite easily, actually. So Yandu leads. See him in a moment. There's Tech 2 and there's Yandu. Yandu with the lighter sails. Famous red and blue oval. Nice little lead. 40,
Yeah.
50 metres.
Yeah.
And he, of course, goes to the shorter mark. So massive advantage for Yandu. Sorry, he goes to the middle mark. Stand corrected.
Blue for the blue boat.
Yeah, blue for blue. Tech 2 will go to the furthest mark. And you can see that it's far from steady, this breeze. They're coming into a light spot, then a bit more pressure. So John Winnie will be very happy with his new boat, new rig. Standing in towards Shark Island. Fang Warren and Mike Kennedy's crew. Just into some nice pressure now. They'll go right into Shark Island and bounce off the island, I would think. And there's nice pressure coming out of Rose Bay now in the
Really
area
nice
where
pressure
they
coming
are.
down
Yep.
here.
And they've got a lovely little right-hander. They've really extended here. I think they'll lay up as far as they can here. Won't want to tack off that at the moment, but The real estate may make him, but he's...
I think the fishing bait at anchor might make him, mate.
There he goes. He would have said hello to the fishing boat nicely, I'm sure, would he?
You know him best, mate.
Yeah. Good afternoon, sir.
There looks like some nice pressure up to the right again.
Yeah, off the point.
Yeah.
And here's Rag and Famish. They will be third. Tech 2 will cross them. So a good battle here. Remembering that Rag will go to the shortest mark, Yandu will go to the middle mark, and Tech 2 will go to the furthest mark. So this is really going to change the order here. If Rag can stay in touch with them, she will lead clearly down the Spinnaker run because of the advantage she'll get by going to the leeward mark. And those marks, what are they distance between them, Jimmy? Would they be 80 metres, I suppose?
A bit more than that.
But is it?
I reckon best part of, what, 150, isn't it? It's quite a distance. Then you throw in the shiftiness of Rose Bay.
Oh, 150, that's all. I wouldn't like to swim it anyway, either way. But anyway, it's a fair distance, so it's a huge advantage if you're going to the shorter mark.
Do you make cossies for him, mate?
What's that?
Do you make cossies for Shippo for his swimming?
So Lazarus have got themselves into the mix, as have the Royal Oak. So there's Tech 2 tacked back onto port in a nice little vein of pressure, but Yandu will still lead. Lazarus, Marcus Ashley Jones, that's Lazarus Capital Partners, they will be third on the water. And where's the old Lazarus going? They are going to the blue mark, which is the middle mark, so the same as Yandu. So Tech 2 had to dip the stern of Yandu.
Yeah, definitely closed in there.
Yeah. So Rag and Famish around the stern of Lazarus. And here come the boats in that went on the left-hand side of the island. And they haven't done that well. Okay, Rag will lead. She goes to the shortest mark. She is around. Oh.
Where's the Royal Oak? What mark's the Royal Oak going
Now
to?
the Royal Oak will go to the first mark. The Royal Oak will sneak now into second place because virtue of the fact that she's going the shorter mark. Not a great set on the leader, Rag and Famish. Just getting a Spinnaker set now. So the Royal Oak now becomes second because she's going to the shorter mark. Then third around will be Balmain, the leader of the first race, the winner of the first race. So the order is Rag, Royal Oak and Balmain as they all went to the shortest mark. Yandu, who was the leader on the water, she will get into fourth spot, just ahead of the
18 footers.
18 footers.
Bar and restaurant. Lazarus breathing right down their neck behind them. Pete just
Down
setting the
their
chute.
exhaust pipe, yeah. So it mixes things up. Poor old Tech 2, he went to the furthest mark, but anyway, he's not that far out of it this time. Oh, Nugs blew in a little bit of froth and bubble at the weather mark. She's around. Okay, so it's the VMG run back down to the starting area in Taylor Bay. Breeze is quite nice again now. It's lifted it up a little, probably 10, 12 knots, maybe 13 in the gusts. Oh, there's a bit of a capsize on the weather mark. Hang on to it, boys, the Birkenhead.
Birkenhead Point.
Saved
They've
it.
saved it. It's the fleet now. There's Tech 2 running down with a red Spinnaker, followed by Shaw and Partners.
Tim that normally sails that, or steers that Birkenhead Point marina boat, he's still trying to get back into the country. I believe he's close to getting back.
I heard he was in quarantine, but
Well, he's in quarantine, even better.
he's probably tuning in as we speak.
Oh, Timmy, how are you, buddy? Hope you are.
He's had a great season on the Sail GP with
Team Japan.
Yeah.
Amazing, right?
And interestingly, watching those boats this year sailing 3 up a lot of the time.
Yeah.
Tim was involved there.
Go back to working at point.
Okay, well, this is a great run down now to pressure's up and the race is on. One more windward leg to come after this, and then a final run to the finish.
Tech 2 had to rush a jibe in there.
Rush jibe on the Tech 2 on the starboard tack kitchen maker. They did a good job to get out of that. Now all boats, I think, are around the mark. It's Tech 2 and the Burrawang Hotel with the Blue Spinnaker just jibing. So they're halfway down the run back to Taylor Bay from Rose Bay. And it'll be the Rag and Famish that leads from Balmain, and Yandu's up in about third or fourth. Did we see Fisher Paykel then? I didn't see them.
Yeah, they're just in the mix, just behind Shore and Partners with the Black Spinnaker. It's the,
Oh, okay.
hopefully both of their rigs are sporting a Black Spinnaker and makes life easy for us.
Yeah. They were up, had a very good first race. They finished fourth. But they're approaching the leeward mark. For the first time, it's a gate. They can choose which mark to go around. Either the left or right as they look downwind. And I think at the moment, Rag and Famish narrowly in the lead. Southeasterly breeze of about 12 knots. Dropping at times to about 8 or 9, and maybe a gust or 2 of 13 or 14. The Rag still leads. Just jibing now with a white Spinnaker to go in. She looks as though she's going to the left-hand mark, looking downwind. Yandu in the foreground, the orange Spinnaker of Balmain Slake. And so the Rag has dropped their chute, going to the left-hand mark. The Royal Oak right on her hammer. She'll be about 3 boat lengths behind, maybe 4. She's around now, both at the left-hand mark. And Balmain,
Slowing down there.
they are going for the right-hand mark. So this will be interesting. Breeze gone back to the right. So
Early drop there by Balmain.
yeah, they're very slow coming into that mark. Yandu going left-hand mark.
Breeze looks like it's filled in a little bit on
Yeah.
the left side again.
It does, doesn't it? Yeah, there's some good pressure. So Balmain might have seen that.
Coming back to Lazarus.
We've got Lazarus just coming in for a jibe here. They're going to go and select the western mark.
A little battle in there, isn't it?
Tech 2's coming through.
Blue.
Get their most out of the day, having to go the furthest.
Value for money.
Exactly.
We have a parking lot down here.
So the Oak,
Center of the front there.
the Oak, Double Bay, Rag and Famish and Yandu all go to the blue mark this time, which is the middle mark. And Balmain,
They go to
They go-
short.
they go to the red mark.
Yeah.
So this will make things very interesting.
Staying on the marker.
As they're watching the fleet, there's Noakes Blue around, Tech 2, who had to go to the furthest mark, and they still have to go to the furthest mark. They're bailing out. They want to get right as quick as they can. White Spinnaker, the kitchen maker.
Hey to Darren, wherever you are around the world, sailing back to Sydney,
Yeah, where did he start from? Where are you sailing back from Europe?
Greece or something.
Ah, living the life.
Someone's got it.
Good on him.
Still waiting on the postcard from him.
Postcard.
Picture maker
Do
around.
they even sell them anymore?
Digital postcard.
Digital postcard.
There's a near capsize in the middle of the line.
Birkenhead Point Marina
Birkenhead
and the
Point and
Vintech.
Vintech. Bit of a tangle up. No, they've saved it. So the final beat of race 2 of the Spring Championship.
Oh, the bow last season. Felix?
Yeah, Felix. Which Felix is it? Is it Devaro, isn't it? So we've got 2 Felixes at sail at Manly, and Alex Chittenden's had to call on one of them to come and
Right.
sail. I was trying to remember which one from the Manly club came and helped, but young Felix, good young kid.
Just going to pass some lights on that.
Appliances online, just a bit of trouble getting their spinnaker down there. And coming down in last place, which you don't often say that, is Smeg. They got tangled up at the start, had to do a penalty turn, and had to go to the longest mark. So it wasn't much going right for Coco and Ricky Bridge and
Zach Barnabas.
Zach Barnabas. A big learning curve, and I'm sure they're going to get better.
I'm sure Trent will have some advice tonight.
Trevor will.
Trevor definitely will. I think
Baz Atkins might be watching too.
uh,
Hope you're well, Baz, if you are watching. I think you'll have to put today's performance a bit behind them.
Let's just call it pre-season
Yeah.
spring boot camp.
Yeah.
Welcome back to Sydney Harbour with a bit of...
Bit of ferry noise and
Yeah.
nonsense. And wouldn't think to go to leeward of them, just plough through the windward of them. Just you see this day after day, it's terrible, really. Could have altered course by about 10 metres and gone behind them. No, it goes right in front of them. Anyway, don't get me started.
too early in the season,
Yeah, don't
mate.
get me started.
Got the trouble last season, mate.
Yes.
Day one.
Okay, back to the race course. Well, Balmain have rolled the dice. They've gone up the left-hand side again. Eastern side of Shark Island.
So it looks like Yandu is he's gone hard right along with the Rag and the Oak. So
Yes. Yeah, they look advantaged, don't they?
they do.
Yeah, the Rag's high on starboard. He's now tacked and laying up in between Shark and Point Piper.
Tech 2 and Shaw and Partners.
The only advantage, as I said earlier, to Balmain is he goes to the shorter mark, but I think he'll be too far back to really have an advantage of that. Fish and Pykell have come back into this.
They're going to get through the lee of Fisher and Pykle here, the lee of Shark Island here.
It'll be a bit squirrely for them, I think. I think he's almost committed to it now, isn't he?
Yeah.
Yeah. Or is he? Oh, the knees in. Ugh. That'll be a bit ugly there for a little while.
It's very lean on the island, isn't it?
Yeah, he's probably too close there. Noakes coming around him now and more pressure. Oh, they've just got the lift now to be up and down here for a little while.
On the other side of the island, Balmain's really, he's decided the left's for him.
Yep. Well, he's bitten the bullet. Well, you never know.
It could work for him.
Yeah, there's such a huge split. He's halfway between Shark Island and Nielsen Park. The other's halfway between Shark Island and Point Piper. Fisher and Pykle now in steady breeze.
Just in the background there, you can see the Rag and Famish.
Yeah, going up on starboard.
Yep.
Noakes Blues done a good job. They've got back right into the game here,
Yeah.
sailing very steadily.
Well, the Rag have got to be happy with their first day out, would they?
Oh, absolutely. Noakes Blues, she goes to the shorter mark as well. She's only going to be now fourth in this group here. She's very close to Yandu. Just see them coming into picture now.
Yeah.
The Royal Oak will be second on the water unless Balmain can pull a rabbit out of the hat down the other side of the island. Okay, Noakes Blue have tacked. And there's nice pressure here, about good 12 knots.
Yeah, she's definitely going to the right part of the bay.
You've just got to watch that connection.
Yeah. Fisher Pay Kelgum went round Yandu there. So
He's going to Yandu. Eric, moving up to Yandu. Yeah, that's it. Just stay on those two boats there.
So don't forget, there's 3 different buoys at the windward mark, 3 different ones. They can go round, and I see Balmain coming into the picture. We'll see him in a minute. She's going to the shorter mark on my system, shorter of the 3 weather marks, and she's not that far out of it. I think it's going to be very close by the time Rag and Famish go to the middle mark, if my calculations are right. 6, red, blue, yep. Okay, Balmain, second on the water and going to the shorter mark. They're having a very good day, the Balmain boys.
Yeah, great to see the 2 new young teams.
Yeah, and a new sponsor gave great enthusiasm for him, I'm sure.
So Dylan, there's a boat going around the market.
Okay, now, here we go. We're on Noakes Blue and Yandu. Still standing on starboard. Yandu's got Noakes Blue locked out there, but it's Balmain that will lead by virtue of the fact that she is going to the shorter mark. She will lead quite handsomely, actually. Rag and Famish is still 50 metres from their middle mark. Okay, Balmain on their way. Can she hang in there? It's a good lead now. Very good lead. She's around, Spinnaker up. Not the greatest of set.
Still on Balmain.
Okay, Balmain needs a bit of a grunt. Okay, Rag and Famish around from the middle mark. She is second. She's got some really good pressure going to roll down into Balmain, but it's a good lead to Balmain. Can she make it 2 out of 2? You'd have to say at the moment, looking pretty good for that.
We've got a vet on Noakes Blue.
Yeah, she went to the shorter mark.
It's wide on the marker.
Oh, there's Rag and Famish now. That's with the white Spinnaker. 2 have just gone round the shorter mark, Noakes Blue and Fisher Pie Kell. So the battle is really on for second and third, I would think. I'd say, barring accidents,
Still on the marker.
Balmain looks pretty good. Don't want to put the commentator's curse on her, but it's a very nice lead. It's a very nice lead.
It's a free handout on board here. Commentator's curse.
It really does change things up when they go to different marks.
Still on the marker. Pick up forward. On forward. Just keep these guys in. Coming in. Fisher and Pike.
Fisher and Peichel. They are 4th at the moment with the black Spinnaker. Blue Spinnaker. Noakes Blue are 2nd. And then to the right, Rag and Famish, the white. And then in the distance, the orangey Spinnaker is the race leader, Balmain. Henry Larkins, Max Paul and Flynn Toomey.
How will they be this afternoon, you reckon? Nice and quiet? Nothing in the bar?
You would think so. They've got something to celebrate.
I met the sponsor today before we went out.
Yep.
Very chirpy. So we'll be doubly chirpy now.
Well,
Something wrong on the Fisher and Peichel? They're dropping their Spinnaker?
tack line.
The tack line's gone on the Fisher and Peichel, I think. They're dropping the Spinnaker. Oh no, maybe she's doing a penalty turn, which is strange. Or they... No,
Unless they've worked out they went to the wrong mark.
she wouldn't be doing a penalty turn there.
They're getting there both.
Well, Noakes is looking good here.
No, Fisher Peichel went to the right mark.
Noakes needs to jibe. They're lifting hard here.
Just looking for the a lift to jibe on.
Very lifted.
There she goes. She's got a battle for second. Oh, come on, boys and girls. There we go. I think Fisher Paykel's done some damage or something. She's heading back upwind, so her day's over. Fisher Paykel, for whatever reason. Okay, nice little header here on the Noakes Blue. She races into the sunset.
Got a very comfortable second.
Lovely day now on the harbour. Bit of plenty of sunshine.
Ferry may come into play here.
Holding on to second place.
She's looking great. No, good cross for Noakes.
Ragan Famish jibing early. She couldn't cross Noakes, so Noakes is second. Ragan Famish third. And the leader is the Balmain boys. They've well and truly got it in the bag now. A 2 out of 2. What a great start to their campaign.
I wonder if the bookie took a bath on the ferry.
Very comprehensive win here.
Looking very comfortable.
They are, aren't they? Oh, but there.
Oh,
Noakes Blue at the moment. Balmain
Well done,
cross. Very good victory to Balmain. And the real battle is for second between Rag and Noakes Blue. There's Noakes with the just waiting for there's Rag and Famish on the right with the white spinnaker. Noakes Blue. Noakes will get second. Just a nice bit of pressure. She'll get down without jibing, I would think.
is that a one jibe run?
Yeah.
Pretty much, I think, yeah. She went up into Steel Point and banging in.
It's the way to do
They're the
it.
good ones.
It's the way to do it.
Well done. Vet Heritage, Tom Clout and James Turner. Terrific effort. As usual from that team.
Big smiles.
Noakes Blue. Rag and Famish. Well, they had a steady day. They'll have a second and a third. Tech 2, they're back in the pack. They're about 6th or 7th. The Rag will be third, but just slowly coming across the line. No pressure, long gap down to 4th.
The Rag have had a great day. 2 out of 3.
2 and a 3. Yeah, they very close to winning the first race.
Shore and Partners on
Oh,
screen having
Shore.
a swim.
Oh,
Sure. Test that wet weather gear out, Pat.
well, yeah. Hey, lucky they got some good wetsuits.
Not probably what they wanted to do, but
No.
okay, so
Well captured by a camera crew.
the Royal Oak in 4th place.
Burrowing.
Oh, Burrowing, I'm sorry, it's Burrowing. Well done, boys. I thought that
Simon Noon.
Mainsel was the Royal Oak, but Burrowing, yep, great effort.
Well done, Simon
Yep.
and crew.
And then down the pin end, we swing the camera around to the right. You'll see Royal Oak just
Royal
crossed just
Oak.
behind them.
Royal
And
Oak.
the 18-footer restaurant. And then Lazarus Capital is next across the line.
Didn't see much of Lazarus that race, but then Yandu.
Yeah, and do.
Knowing
yeah.
Marcus, he's working on his handicap, mate, to better himself for. Oh no, it's Yandu.
Yandu, yep. Yandu's 7th.
Lazarus, like Marcus, will be working on his handicap, I think, to have a nice big bet with someone.
Good battle for 8th here between Lazarus, Kitchen Maker and Tech 2. I think Tech 2 will get there.
Tech 2 have had a much better race than race 2.
Well, he did. You know, he had to go to the distance, longest mark, and
Yep.
he finished 8th.
So,
They'd be happy with that.
Yeah.
So Tech 2, Lazarus Capital, then the Kitchen Maker, Caesarstone, and then you got Fisher and Pykle back with their spinnaker up. So they didn't lose their
I don't know
tackle.
what happened. Yeah, I don't know what happened to them.
So the mystery.
Last we saw them, they were going upwind, and then Birkenhead.
Birkenhead Point Marina.
Yeah.
It's
Good shot of Birkenhead. Here comes Al Smeg.
There's Smeg, Coco, Ricky and Zach. They had to go to the furthest top mark today, so
Yeah.
they've had a good day.
There's the Smeg. Smegger across. They'll be
wrap up.
about 13th or so. So let's recap on the opening day of the 18-footers for season 21-22. Spring Championship, races 1 and 2. A great day's racing, really, and some exciting results in both days, both races. First race, Balmain was first, Rag and Famish second, the Kitchen Maker third, Fisher and Pykell fourth, the Oak Double Bay and Yandu rounded out the top 6, and then 2 out of 2 for Balmain. They won the second race from Noakes Blue. Rag and Famish, the Burrawang Hotel was 4th, the Royal Oak 5th, the 18-footer Restaurant, Bar and Restaurant were in 6th spot. So a really good day's racing, as I said. The southeasterly breeze that got up to probably 12, 13 knots at times, down to about 8 knots. And for the first day out racing, I thought we saw some really good stuff and some thrilling finishes in both races. So I think, Pat, I hope you enjoyed it. It was great having you with us.
Thanks for having me, and I really enjoyed it, and it's, I think it's whetted my appetite for the season ahead.
And Jimmy, what's your take on the day?
Mate, I had a great day out. I enjoyed being back out here with the team. Having Pat out with us was awesome. Love the support, the people that support our sport. So it was great to have Pat along. You can't really take too much away from these 3-boy races. So it's just one of those, wait and see things. It's still quite, great day for the brand new sponsor in Balmain Slate Racing. I think that's fabulous. So welcome to them, to the 18s. And for young Harry Price on the Rag and Famish, as Pat alluded to earlier, that's awesome to see him jumping in and having a go of it.
Yeah, it was a good pre-season hit out. I think that's all you can say, because boats going to different marks. It's as you said, Jimmy, it's very hard to get a gauge on form, but nonetheless, I'm sure everyone's glad to get out there and flex their muscles and see what works or what doesn't work and what they can improve on. I'm sure everyone can improve on a lot as the season goes on. But next week we're on again.
Yeah, absolutely.
I think, is it the same format? I think it is, isn't it? For next
No doubt the same format.
Yeah.
I'll keep running with it.
And as the season gets on, we've got state championships, Australian championships, and then we finish up with the JJ Giltons in February, March. So hope you've all enjoyed it. On behalf of Sale Media and Jits and the boys, the team that work overtime down the back of this wonderful craft, we thank you for your efforts. I hope everyone's enjoyed it. We've been a bit rusty, I'm sure, and I'm sure the crews have been a bit rusty, but I'm sure we'll get better, they'll get better. And we'll see you next week from the famous Sydney Harbour and watching the famous 18-footers. So on behalf of Jimmy Bury and Pat, this is Peter Shipway signing off from Sydney Harbour, and we'll see you next week.